Hey, it's Tyler from Rehab to Fab Designs, and today we're going to go over how I did this makeover on the cedar chest. This chest actually belonged to a coworker of mine, and she donated it to me to make over for another coworker of ours. It was pretty good shape. It has great bones, but as you can see, it had some really dated fabric on the top. So the first thing I did was remove all that and then get started on my finish. I knew that I wanted to use this new rice paper that Dixie Belle came out with called Springtime in Paris, because it's got some pretty cherry trees on it, and I just love the Eiffel Tower. So we're going to get started by cleaning first. We're going to come in with our Dixie Belle's White Lightning and spray the whole thing and wipe it down really good until it comes out clean, to get rid of all the grime and grease from the years of use. Once I had a clean surface, it was time to get ready for my finish. I knew I wanted to use a textured finish on this, so I'm starting out with a color called Driftwood, which is a light gray that Dixie Belle makes, and of course the Sea Spray. The Sea Spray is a texture medium that you use to add to your paint so that you can get a nice textured finish. So you basically mix it in. I did not have that much paint left in this container, so I just went ahead and added a spoon in and then stirred it up, and I want it to be nice and thick. And then we're going to use a stippling technique to apply the paint to the whole piece. And I actually think I got it a little too thick here, so I did come back in and just add a little water, but it's super easy and user-friendly, so no big deal. So a stippling technique is basically where you just apply the paint to your brush. I like to use a chip brush when doing this, and then you just kind of pounce it up and down onto the piece. By using this pouncing motion, it creates peaks and valleys, so basically high spots and low spots, and this is a great base if you're wanting to use a textured finish or get you a nice grungy look. I did this technique all over the piece, the front, the sides, the back, and also on the top. And here's a view of what it looked like once I had the stippled texture medium in place. As you can see, lots of high areas, lots of low areas with those peaks that were built using Sea Spray. For the paint colors and finish, I decided to go with kind of a cloud-like look, and the reason I did this is because of the paper I chose. Basically has blue and white sky in the top portion of it, and so I wanted it to kind of coordinate with that. So I came in with first in the navy, which is a navy blue color made by Dixie Belle. So I'm using a brush and again just kind of stippling this on, and then just kind of blending it in with the underlying color, which is the Driftwood, and you just come back and add that as needed so that it's wet, and blend the two colors together, pouncing it again until you get the look you're going for. I want it kind of soft and subtle, so it looks kind of like clouds. For this part, I am using a synthetic brush from Dixie Belle, as I prefer synthetic brushes for my finishes. So because my base color of Driftwood is dry, I'm coming back with the Driftwood here, again using another synthetic brush. I believe this is a Dixie Belle mini. So I just pick up some of the Driftwood and then I'm going to apply it. That way it's wet along with it in the navy, and then we'll just blend the two together to give us that nice smoky look. Here we'll use our third brush to pounce the two colors together to get that look. Whenever you need to moisten it, simply spray it with your mister bottle to wet it so that the colors blend nicely. This mister bottle is also made from Dixie Belle, and instead of using, you know, like a heavy stream or like heavy drops, it is a very fine mist, which is perfect for blending paints. You just keep pouncing that paintbrush in place to get the look that you like. If you have areas that are too light, you simply pick up a little bit of the darker color in the navy and add that. And then if you need a little light, you pick up the driftwood and you just keep going until you get it the way you want. And I, of course, did the back of this piece as well. That way all 4 sides are done. And if anybody wanted to use it for like a coffee table, they can. So here's a look at the back. So I have all 4 sides done, and now I'm going to start working on the top. For the top, I'm going to apply my decoupage paper before I do the paint finish, because the goal is to blend it in with the paint finish. So I'm going to go ahead and do my paper first. This is, again, a newer paper from Dixie Belle called Springtime in Paris. And as always, when I'm decoupaging, I am going to use Dixie Belle's clear coat as my decoupage medium. So you're going to apply that over your piece, and then you're going to simply lay your paper down and then smooth out any wrinkles, and then seal it again with another coat of clear coat. Because I made this piece super chunky and super textured, there were a couple of pieces that were on the top that were too high, and I knew that would cause issues with my paper and probably tear it when I tried to smooth it out and lay it flat. So I did use a putty knife to just kind of remove some of those bigger chunks right here, but just where my paper's going, because again, I do want to have a nice textured piece. So I'm using a just a cheap synthetic brush here to apply my decoupage medium. You'll want to work in smaller sections just because it'll give you a little bit more control. Dixie Belle's rice papers are really nice because they're heavyweight papers, so they are a little bit forgiving when you start to apply them, meaning that you can lift them up and then reapply them if you have a lot of wrinkles. Some papers I've worked with in the past are really thin, and so if you try to lift them up to kind of reposition them if you need to, they will tear. So that's not the case with these papers because they're nice and thick. So you're going to apply your decoupage medium in a small area, whatever size you're comfortable working with, and then you're going to lay your paper down. Then you're going to smooth out any wrinkles. Because this is over a textured finish, I don't have to worry too much about the wrinkles because it's laying on a textured base, but you do want to kind of work with it to make sure you don't have any huge folds in it. Once you get it nice and smooth in place where you want it, you just simply come right back over the top again with the same clear coat, and this will seal the piece in. So I basically did like half of the paper first, and then went ahead and put some of the top coat on top, and then I came back and did the bottom half and then sealed over it. Next, it was time to paint the top and have it blend in with the paper. So here I did add a third color. I added Dusty Blue from Dixie Belle, and the reason I chose it is because there are some colors of this blue in the decoupage paper. So again, using my Driftwood on top, my In the Navy on the top, and then adding a little bit of the Dusty Blue just so I can blend my paper in nicely so I can't see it. Once I had that done for the sky portion, I needed to come back and fill in to finish out the tree here, because as you can see on that left side, it's an abrupt stop in the image where the paper stops. So I came in with some Plum Crazy and I believe tea rose, and then also a little bit of a brown color so I could kind of paint out the rest of the tree to make it kind of seamless, because obviously if it just stopped on a straight line, it would not look right. After that, I used my sandpaper here to smooth a little bit down on the top because I decided to add a transfer. This is a cherry blossom transfer from Dixie Belle. I think sadly it's been discontinued, which I hate because it's super pretty, but I thought it would go nice with the paper because the paper has cherry trees on it. So if you've never worked with Dixie Belle's transfers, they're super easy to use. You basically have 3 parts. There is an image image that is printed on a clear portion, and then there is a paper backing. So you simply separate the two. So you peel the backing off, and then you have your image left on the clear portion. So once you figure out your design, you're going to cut those pieces out and then lay them onto your project. And then the rubbing stick that it comes with, that you can see in my hand here, is what you're going to use to rub the image off of the clear portion of the paper and onto your project. Once you've rubbed over the design and are ready to start lifting it, you simply lift the corner of the clear portion of the transfer up. I do like to rub it down as I'm going and then lift it up to reveal this beautiful new design. Here it is, all finished up with my paper in place and my transfer to coordinate, and I think it turned out super pretty. I did send pictures to the lady that we were gifting this to, and she was in love. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications to be alerted when we post more videos.